Hi there everybody and welcome. It's Jackie here from stampinjack.com. It is Thursday the 28th of April. It's time for our weekly crafting session, but we're a day late because I had to do an airport run last night at normal Facebook time. So I'm just going to double check our setup. Leave me a comment below when you arrive. Say hi. If you're watching me on the YouTube replay, then leave me a comment as well. I'm just going to make sure that I'm live in all the right places. I had an abortive start just a second ago. Hi Lynn, welcome. Good to have you. First one in tonight. Right, and as Lynn has said, just remind you all to share this video. That would be great. Just going to do that now myself. Hi Doreen, nice to see you. Welcome. How is everybody? Looking forward to another bank holiday weekend. Hi Kat, good to have you. There we are. I think we are up to date. Right, so the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed the post that I did today, because I had a very exciting delivery. I had a delivery of my pre-order from the new annual catalogue. So this goes live next, I want to say Tuesday, after the bank holiday. So I received my delivery today of my pre-order, and it includes a nice big pile of annual catalogues. So over this long weekend, I shall be packaging those up, ready to go out to you. So I thought what I'd do tonight, if that's okay with you guys, is I'd go through what I've got in, and have a little play. So we'll see where we go with it. So the first thing I want to do, hang on a minute, I seem to have frozen. Just 1 second. So the first thing I want to do is to go through our new in colours. So I shared with you a little while ago what they were, but now I have them in person, which is lovely. Unfortunately, not all the colours of cardstock were available, but I do have all of the inks. So here we go. I'm just making sure that I can see comments. There we are. So let's start with the new ink colours. So of course, with every brand new catalogue, we get some new ink colours. Now, what that means is that a set of ink colours goes. So I'm just going to show you the ones that we're losing. So the ones that we're losing are Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Misty Moonlight, Magenta Madness, and Bumblebee. Now, I have to be perfectly honest, I didn't really use these ones all that much. I've used the new ink colours much more. So I'm much more excited by the new ones that we've got here. So if I go through them, we've got Orchid Oasis, which is like a purpley colour. That's really nice. And I do have the cardstock to go with that. So you can see that's a lovely deep purple. So it'll go really nice with our current purples. When I do my catalogue launch party, I'll do a full comparison of these colours to our current colours. So the next one is Tahitian Tide, which again, those of you who've been around for a while this looks very similar to our old Tempting Turquoise. So again, I'm really pleased to see this bright blue back. I think it's really lovely. We missed turquoise. Then we have Starry Sky, which is kind of a purpley, navy, royal blue type colour. Now, I don't have cardstock for that, but I do like that. Then we have Sweet Sorbet, which is kind of like a red, pinky red. So it's kind of like Poppy Parade. And then what I'm most excited about is this one. This is Parakeet Party. Now, again, those of you who've known me for a while know that I lamented the departure of Lemon Lime Twist. And this is really close to that colour. So it's lighter than Granny Apple Green, much more yellow, limey kind of colours. I'm really happy that this one's back. So there are our 5 new in colours. And then what we've got here is we've got a Baker's Twine pack, which has each of the 5 ink colours in as well. So I really like Baker's Twine, probably more than ribbon actually, if I'm perfectly honest. But I really, really like that. So we're going to play with those a little bit later on. But first I thought, let's go through what I've got. So I've got some papers and I've got some stamps and dies, and then shout as I'm going through if there's anything in particular that catches your eye or anything that you want me to play with. Tonight is pretty much completely on the fly. I haven't got anything prepared. We're just going to go for it and see what happens. Hi Diane, welcome. So let's start with the papers. Okay, now I haven't been able to pre-order all of them, but quite a few of them. So just grab them from the box. It's going to be a messy one tonight. So the first is called Tea Boutique Designer Series paper. And this is really cute. So this is part of a bundle, which I'll show you the stamp set later, all about teacups, as you can imagine. So as usual with these, we've got patterns on one side and then more plain on the other side. So themed with teapots on one side. So you can see here's the Orchid Oasis here. I'm going to start getting used to these names. I think this is Sweet Sorbet. So as I've said before, I will be doing a paper share. I'll be sending all the details out when I send out the new catalogues. So just running through the different options here. I love this. This is really bright and fresh and cheerful. And actually some of the backgrounds here I think could lend themselves to masculine cards. So if you look at these stripes here, they definitely do. And look at this. I really, really like this. That's just cheerful and happy and lovely. Okay. And then so again, this is really sweet with the little envelopes. See, you could use that for masculine cards. That's the Tahitian Tide, is it? So I'm going to have to get used to these. Yep, Tahitian Tide. And then again, I love this one too. It's just really bright, fresh, springy, summery. And a nice gingham check on the back. So, as usual, patterned on one side and themed, and then sort of slightly more subtle patterns on the other side. So that is the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper. So as I say, shout out what you think of these as I go through. I'll be really happy to hear your thoughts. And let me see what makes it onto your wish list. Right, so next up is Perfectly Penciled Designer Series paper. So this one is a bit like the Perfectly Penned that we have in our current catalogue, but it is entirely black and white. So this is, I really, really like this because you can just do it like this, leave it like this, but you can also colour this with your blends or sponges or inks or whatever. So, and then you've got more solid patterns on the back. Really, really lovely. Love a good dot, you all know that. Then some smaller flowers. Love a good stripe. So again, quite masculine, some of these patterns, especially in black and white. And then, like I say, you can add your colour by sponging or various other colouring methods. So that's lovely. That is Perfectly Penciled. Okay. Next up is called Pretty Prince. So this has got Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Calypso Coral, Coastal Cabana, Evening Evergreen, Gorgeous Grape, Petal Pink, Rich Raspberry, Shaded Spruce, Soft Seafoam, Soft Succulent, and Sweet Sorbet. It's quite a lot, and I think this is going to be one of those papers that we don't want to cut up because it's just so gorgeous. So we'll start. I don't know if you can see the detail on that. It's like you've got a print in white and then a print in the background like a shadow. It's really, really beautiful. I think, and look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Just that on its own is like a piece of art. It's really, could you imagine that as a scrapbook page with just a nice photograph here? Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to struggle to cut into this if I'm perfectly honest. Again, I love just the blend of the white, and then we've just got an ombre background. So all of the sheets, it would seem, are different. I really like that one. I'm discovering this properly for the first time. So you can see the patterns are repeated, but the colours have changed. So this is like the Blackberry Bliss with all of the various colours in it. I'm looking forward to playing with this because these are colours that I don't really use all that often. So I'm looking forward to having a go with them and seeing what happens. There we go. And then this is the soft succulent. These are just so elegant. I mean, look at that. That is just absolutely stunning. Really, really beautiful. So yeah, I think this is one that, as I say, we'll have and we won't want to use because we don't want to cut it. So, but don't worry, I'll cut it for you in your paper shares. It'll be ready to go for you. So that was Pretty Prince. So the next one is Hues of Happiness. I know, Diane, it is. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So this is Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Melon Mambo, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy and Pool Party. So as you can imagine, this one is very colourful. So this is, there's a coordinating bundle that goes with this, but I don't have it. But you can see it's kind of, it's an unusual mix. So we've got really lovely, big, bright, bold patterns on one side. And then look at that. But you can see we've just got that, I don't know if you can see that, but we've just got the colours kind of lined up. So this is really, really pretty. And that theme goes through the colours. So this one here, Kat, yeah, it's just so bright and cheerful. So you can see it goes through. If you were to trim this, you could catch it all that way, catch the different colours, or just take a strip that takes each one, which is really, really nice. And this one, look at this. Again, just put that in a frame and put it on the wall. Could you imagine it with some, like, just one really big element, or like a wood chip word or something like that, just in the center in white or something? That would be absolutely gorgeous. But this looks, you can, it looks like the texture of oil on canvas. It's really, really lovely. Fantastic rainbow. And again, some flowers. And look at that on the back. I loved it with the navy background and the flowers. That's just really, really pretty. It's gorgeous. Hi, Mary. Welcome. Glad you could join us. And then here's another one with sort of the blues and greens and yellows. Really, really gorgeous. And you could do it, look, if you do it like that, it kind of looks like a scene, doesn't it? With some water and some land and then the sun, sunset. Really, really lovely. Some more flowers. Oops. And another purple and blue ombre. These are just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really lovely. As you've got the pinks and the yellows and the oranges. I love these colours together. And if I show you, actually in one of the cards that we made last week, you can see we've got the pink and yellows together. Look really, really nice. So there we go. That is the hues of, oh, excuse me, that is, okay, back again. I knocked my phone and seemed to lose my, what appears to be a very, very delicate signal. So I'll have to not do that one. So the next one is Sun Prince. Now this is quite similar to the Pretty Prince that we had earlier, but the colours here is Grey Granite, Night of Navy, Pacific Point and Starry Sky. So you can see it's that kind of shaded kind of white on dark, but look at the background of the grey. It's really, really beautiful. Look at this. That again, it's the same as design as the Pretty Prince, but different colour. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really lovely. Look at that. Love this blue. Great for masculine cards. And look at that stripe. I don't know if that makes your screen go funny, but that is beautiful. And again, look at that lovely texture in the background. More grey. Oops. Oh dear. Sorry. Sort of not quite a leopard skinny, but I love that kind of dotty. And then finally, we just have the grey. So these are absolutely beautiful. I'm going to have a lot of fun with those. So that one is the Sun Prince. Now, there we go. what else have I got? Ah, yes. So now we have a speciality one, which is texture chic. So the colours in this one, grab the label, are Evening Evergreen, Mango Melody, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Soft Succulent and Soft Suede. So it's quite an unusual combination, and I think the look on and it's also got accents of gold in it. So I think this is more, these are kind of like a shabby chic type look. So you can see on one side we've got the gold. So this would go really lovely with the Abstract Beauty stamp set and dies that are in the mini catalogue with the hexagons and stuff. Really, really lovely. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you like a bit of shabby chic and texture, then this one is for you. That kind of looks like old peeled wallpaper and paint, doesn't it? Really unusual. There's a Christmassy one there with snowflakes. I love the gold accents on this. That's really pretty, isn't it? Very delicate. Again, this is really good for masculine with the kind of the soft succulent and the evening evergreen mixed together. And look at that kind of wood grain with a kind of greeny feel to it. And then we've got this pretty petal pink with the gold, and then we've got some seashells. So that's an unusual pack there. And so then last of all, I have this another speciality paper which is called Brush Strokes. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this properly on camera, but I'll try my best. So, it's really fine. There's 3 sheets. So, you've got Blushing Bride, Mint Macaron, and Night of Navy. So, those 3 colours together are just gorgeous. But it's like really, really thin wallpaper. And I don't know if you can see it there in the light, but can you see the texture that's in it? Really beautiful. Again, I'm going to struggle to use this if I'm perfectly honest. I just won't want to cut this up because it's just too precious. So I shall struggle. Lovely layers or something. It's vellum. Now, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this, but I'll figure it out. So we've got some sheets of vellum which are thinner than our normal vellum, slightly thinner, but they're designed to be, they look like the kind of card front size. So half the pack is just plain vellum and the other half is printed. So you've got these leaves, and you can colour this, but I have to admit I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'll figure it out. So like that, you could layer it. Let's just put it so if you layer it on a colour, it kind of takes the colour on a little bit, if you see what I mean. So yeah. Yes, Lynn, if you're talking about that last brush strokes paper, it is beautiful. So we'll have a play around with this one to see if I can work out how best to use it. Bit of a challenge for me. Any ideas? Welcomed. Do let me know. I do like that one. I think that one's got a lot of potential. So we'll see. Okie dokie. So that is the papers that I've got so far. Any favourites so far that you particularly like? Make some space. Move my card up. Because now we're going to move on to our some stamp sets and dies. So let's start with Nature's Prints. So we've got some, I really like the sentiments and the script, the font on there. There's obligatory splat, we love a good splat, and then we've just got a nice little range of foliage here. But what really sold this one to me was, obviously we've got the dies that cut out the stamped images, but then you have this, I haven't even opened it, haven't even properly opened it yet. You've got this wreath, and I always like a nice wreath, and it's a really good size. If you put it on a card front, fits it really nicely. So I think we've got a lot of potential fun with that. So that is, and then you can see we've got a few extra bits here that you could cut out and then layer onto your wreath which would be really cool. So that is Nature's Prince. So as I said at the beginning, I haven't got any projects planned out in my head. We're just going to wing it for tonight. So if you spot something and you think, yeah, I want to see you play with that, then just put it in the comments and I'll see what I can figure out. Okay. Now the next two, you'll be pleased to know that there are quite a few. There's a much better selection of stamps and dies for men, which is really, really pleased to see. So this is the first one, which is He's All That. So you've got, I love that one. I know quite a few guys who are into their classic cars, so that's a good one. The Man Who Does Everything. I like this one, love the card where it's just got his photograph on it, and then you just put this on there. Together for the long haul. Holy smokes, you're amazing. Just some really, really cool sentiments. And then the dies. So again, you've got some, the circle. This is for texture. So this cuts out these. This will cut out these. This will cut out that. That will fit that one. That one will fit that one. And then we've just got some general flags, so that's quite cool. Nature's Prince, play with that. So Kat requests Nature's Prince. Okay, so we've got a vote for that one. Okay, so that's He's All That. So again, the dies and the stamps work completely independently of one another if you want to, or you can use them together. So I love it when they do that. So it's particularly because then the dies just stand alone basically. So there's He's All That. I'll leave them out so that you can think about it. So the next one, which I'm really pleased to see, because it's very similar to a stamp set that we had a number of years ago that didn't have dies, and I always thought it would be great if it did. And this is Brood for You. So again, great for men's, but also suitable for women's. But I love the I owe you one or several, and another round for your birthday. So you've got the beer and the beer glass, and you've got a sort of a wine glass as well. So that's really good for our two-step stamping. But the best bit is you get the dies to go with it. So you've got the glass, the tankard and the pint glass to cut out. And then this die here basically gives you the texture for the mug, which I think is really, really cool. And then these two also cut out the foam to add on to your pint glass and your tankard. And then these here add the texture of bubbles in your glasses. And then you've got a couple of little, like some leaves and a hop. And then this bottle here as well, you don't have to use that for. You could see that working well with even some like some flower dies in it, so you could make like a little use it like a vase or something like that. So this is really, really cool. I think this is one that you take out and use quite a lot. I do think our we're lacking something that kind of had alcoholic theme to it, which is weird for someone like me who's not a drinker, but again, really good for general purpose. Next one is, this one is the cup. So Diane, is it the Brood for You that you want me to do? If so, then just pop it in the comments, because there's a bit of a delay, so I'm not quite sure which one you're commenting on. So the next one is Cup of Tea. And I thought a little bit about this, I have to say, because I am a tea drinker. I drink a lot of tea. A lot of tea. None. So yeah, whatever one you want me to play with, just put the name in it so I know which one. That's why I'm kind of leaving them out for you so you can see which one is which. So at the moment, I know I have a vote for Nature's Prince, and I've got a vote from Diane and a vote from Lynn. So Diane, you want Brood for You. Lynn, let me know which one you want. So I really like the sentiments on this. So yeah, I love this. I like the let's get together soon. I always like a good thank you. I love the little lemon slice. I've got some good ideas there. And you've got some nice flowers and foliage. And then you've got the teacup. So it cuts out the stamped image, or you could just cut it out of patterned paper. And then you've got this one, which is the layers on top. So basically, cuts out like this pattern here. So I think I'm going to have a bit of fun, and then you've got some lovely little hearts, and then you've got the flowers and all sorts of other stuff. So that should be good. So that's cup of tea, and I think this is supposed to be like a little tea bag. So we'll pop that one there, and then finally, this is my number one pick from the new catalogue. Not just from the bits that we were allowed to order, but when I went through, this was the first thing that I said, right, I'm going to get this. So this is called Sending Smiles. And apart from the fact that I love when we've got a big sentiment and then all the bits through it. So Lynn says cup of tea, okay. I love the fact that it's got a good lock in it, which is great. And I like that, just a card to say hello. A note of thanks, smiles across the miles. So this is really, really cool. I like the fact that you've got the flowers, but they've divided them up so you can do the different colours. I hate when you've got a stamp of a flower and it's got the stem and the flower on it, because then you've got to work out, do I have a green stem and a green flower, or all the rest of it. So I like having them separate. But as I say, the thing that really sold this to me was the dies. So what you have is obviously all the dies to cut out all the pieces. So not only can you stamp your flowers, you can cut them and die cut them, but you've also got sending as a die. So you've got the background and you've got the detail of the word, and then you've got these two little labels which fit these sentiments here. So I think we're going to see lots of this. We've got another set which has got thank you and amazing and all sorts of other stuff like that. So you could do sending thanks, or you could combine them. But I love the word dies that have got the background on them. It helps them really stand out on our cards. So that's my number one choice. I'm just going to pop that back in its container. So what have we got? So we've got Nature's Prince, Brewed for You, Cup of Tea. I'm probably going to play with Sending Smiles. I hope I have time for all of this. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to, using this one, I'm actually going to just try out the in colours. Scrap. I want that one, so let's just grab a scrap of white. And oops, take the sending. You can see how big this is. Okay, sorry about that. Keep cutting out. Don't know what it is. I really need to do something about my internet. This seems to be becoming a regular feature, is that it keeps cutting me out all the time. So we've got Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Orchid Oasis. Oh, I'll get it open. Sweet Sorbet and Starry Sky. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is first of all because I'm going to have to clean my stamp thoroughly in between each inking. So I'm just using my Stampin' mist to wet my Stampin' scrub. So let's start with Parakeet Party. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous colour? It's not quite lemon lime twist, but you know what? It's close enough for me. I think you guys can look forward to seeing quite a bit of this. And then we've got, this is Tahitian Tide. There we go. Next up is I'm actually going to do Sweet Sorbet next. So I'm interested to see what this one is. Yeah, it's kind of a pinky red, whereas our Poppy Parade is kind of an orangey red. And then we'll do Orchid Oasis. Oh yeah, this is a nice purple. Isn't that lovely? And then on the back my piece wasn't quite big enough to do them all on the one piece. So there is the Starry Sky. So you can see it's kind of a royal blue. There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Like those in colours. Okay, so let's see, where do we start? Nature's Prince. Okay, so let me think now. Put them all away now. That was a bit silly of me, wasn't it? Nature's Prince. Okay, so I think let's start with this die. And I think what I'm going to do is I think I it in white. Let's try white. Okay, bring in my mini gloss, see if it'll fit through. Okay, so here we go. Let's just pop this out. So look at that. Got a few bits. And you can see it's done some texture on there as well. So I think I fancy a bit of white on white. Let's see. I wonder. Nah, don't want to use it, Ellen. Okay. Okay, so I think we're going to do it white on white, but let's do some stamping. So let's grab our, let me think, let's do the splat to create some texture. No, let's do the fern. And I think we'll use, I want a nice light colour. So use a bit purple. And then I think if we go with grey granite, that might look nice. Oop. So let's grab a piece of scrap. Oh yeah, that is nice. So I'm going to just stamp off. And I'm going to create a bit of a background here for my oh, didn't mean to do that, but never mind. And then let's bring in, this is our, and then I'm going to bring some smoky slate. Oop, let's try that again. Okay, and then let's do our splat. And what should we use for this one? Let's use some fresh freesia. That's a really light kind of purpley colour. And we'll stamp that off. Just to create a little bit of infill here. Okay, and then we have there we go. It's over the top. Yep, so what I'm going to do then is just grab a sponge dauber. And I'm going to use the grey granite. And let's just add a tiny bit of shading. I'm just putting it around the edges just to try and help it stand out a little bit from the background that I've created. Okay. Do you know what? I don't like that. I like it just like that. So then what we'll do is let's get the dies. Got this one here, which I'm going to do hello there. I'll die cut that out, so I'm going to stamp that onto a scrap of white. And I'm going to do that in grey granite 4 strings. So here you go, ladies. You're seeing me figuring it out as I go. Alright, so then we'll pop that on there, and then let's take let's do this. Go. Okay, so I'm just going to run that through my mini gloss. Can anyone see? Okay. There we go. That looks cool. And then I'm also going to cut a piece in, got a bit grey here. Yes, I do have a scrap of grey. I'm also going to cut the label in grey. Now, let's see how we pull this one together. And I think some grey granite ribbon. Go, and I think I'm going to stamp hello there straight onto here, and I'm going to use my black, just here somewhere. My black stays on. Now, can you see when I stamp I've got a little edge there? I'm going to trim my stamp because that edge keeps catching. So here's a bit of stamp surgery for you. Let me just close up my stays on first. Okay, so I'm going to grab my sharp scissors. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim away some of the rubber. But the important thing is to make sure that you trim away the rubber, but leave the foam. Because otherwise, if the rubber comes out higher than the foam, then it's got nothing to lean on. Okay, so you just angle your scissors slightly sideways so that you're just trimming. So quite often with rubber stamps, you do need to just sometimes trim them. So if your edges are catching like that, then I would recommend that you just trim them off. You can see it's just teeny bits that I'm. Okay, and then stamp that on there. Yep, and then I think we'll take our splat. No, I'm going to take this, our little fern, and I'm just going to, there we go. Okay, alrighty. So let's grab our glue. So this is sticking it down, so this is a smoky slate layer onto what I think is actually a not gorgeous grape, Highland Heather card base, and I've made a boo-boo there, but that's alright, I can fix it. Yeah, I'll do it differently. Okay, I meant to put my ribbon on there first because I wanted to do it across, but we'll just do it as my favourite little ziggy-zag instead. I'll pop this up. I only seem to have mini dimensionals, so let's use those. There we go, and then a little bit of bling, I think is in order. There we go, so that's one with the Nature's Prints. There we go, so next where will I put that there? So now we still have this bit, and let's try our white on white idea, or I have another idea if necessary. So either do that. I think that works. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the hello there in Evening Evergreen. Go. When you want a really, really subtle element. There we go. And then I'm going to take the big fern and using the evening evergreen. Just creates a little bit of extra texture behind. Go. Got the hello there. Let's grab a white card base, I think. I wonder, does it look better like that? Yes, that looks better like that. And then of course it needs a little bit of ribbon, so let's grab my evening evergreen and we'll do like we did before. We'll just do a little zigzag behind here. So I'm going to pop my wreath up, and because we've got lots of solid bits in it, we've got lots of places that we can put dimensionals without them being seen. Here, and I'm going to trim one. Scissors. I'm going to trim an edge piece. I just want a piece here, just to balance it out. Place it down like that. My hello there is also going to be popped up. And I'm going to stick it to the back of my piece. So you still with me, ladies? What are you thinking? Go, and then again let's grab our rhinestones, which are here somewhere in the chaos. Here we go. Let's just see. Yeah, there you go. Right. I can't always see the comments, so I don't always know if you're still there or not. There we go, and I think I'm going to pop this layer up. So there we go. That's the second one with Nature's Prince. That's kind of cool. I like that actually. I do say so myself. Right, so next you wanted a cup of tea. All right, so let's just make a bit of room here. As usual, I've just got everything out. Can I move it up a bit? Oh, am I working too close? Hang on, let me just move the camera down. That way, when I'm working, you can see it. Sorry. So let me bring the card back in. So there you go. That's the second one. Okay, all right. So next is, we said cup of tea. So let's see, what shall we do with cup of tea? We said first things first is to make a bit of space. So let's grab a cup of tea. Teacup wise. Okay, so let's think. Let's think for a second. I have an idea. Let's grab this one. This stripe. Okay, and let's bring in our in colours. That's not white, that's very vanilla. I don't want very vanilla. So that was Parakeet and Sweet Sorbet. And made a bit of a tactical error here, but that's all right. I'm just going to run these through. One. Two. Okay, and then let's bring in a Tahitian Tide card base, and then I want a piece of white. Yes, and then what we can do, got a gem on me. Okay, and then we Let's do the take care of yourself. Yeah, so let's grab the Tahitian Tide. We need to change that up a little. Let's do this instead. Yeah, so I'm just going to trim this down 1 second. Okay. Okay, I think it's coming together now. So this is the Sweet Sorbet Baker's Twine. So we've got the Tahitian Tide, the Parakeet Party, and then we've got our 3 cups. So we're just going to layer these up. Okay. Start that one at the bottom. So I'm not putting a dimensional near the top because I want to layer this one in on top. But I also want to pop this up, so I'm going to put some dimensionals again near the bottom. And I'm not pressing them down hard because I might want to adjust these. And then for this one, because it's at the top, okay, and then I'm going to take my baker's twine. That around. I'm just going to do a knot. But what I'm going to do is catch, don't know if you can see that, I'm going to catch all 3 strands like that and just knot them together. There we go, and then we'll glue those down. Okay. There we go. And then we'll fold our card base in half first. So say this is Tahitian Tide, just a normal sized card base. We'll just glue our panel down. There we go. That is the cup of tea bundle. Ooh. Let me know what you think about that one. So where are we at? We're at 9:05. I wanted to play with Brood for You and sending good wishes, but I'm not sure that I have time for that. So we'll just have to leave those for next time. Sorry guys, I've just got a bit, well, just takes a bit longer to do stuff completely from scratch. So let me just bring back in what we did make tonight. So we had our two, so this was card number 1, card number 2, make some room, and card number 3. So let me know what you think, 1, 2 or 3. I'm just going to move this up so you can see them all. Okay, I will next week play with some of the others, but if in the meantime you want to have a special request, just let me know. Let me know what you think about the papers as well. And as I say, over the weekend I'll be doing up the letters and catalogues and getting them ready to post to you. Anything that if you still haven't gotten what you need from the current annual catalogue, which is this one here, it goes away on the 2nd of May. Sorry. Yeah, 2nd of May. So you have this weekend to pick up whatever it is that you want from this catalogue before it retires. Lots of stuff is gone. Lots of stuff is discounted. So just go on to my online store. I'll post the link when I'm done here, and just check out. Make sure you pick it up. The mini catalogue. So this catalogue still runs until June. Okay, so soon I'll be able to share with you what's retiring from this. I know what's not carrying over, but some of these things might be discounted. So as soon as I have the list of what's been discounted, then I will let you know. Let me see. Here we are. You can see the comments again. So Mary likes 3, Lynn likes 3, 1 and 2, Kat likes 1, 2 and 3. And Doreen likes 2, 3, 1. So yeah, it's quite a range. So yes, I'm sorry I didn't get to Brood for You. I will do next week, and hopefully I'll have had a bit more time to play with those dies, so I make sure I get the most of them. But yeah, thank you again. It's lovely crafting with you as always, and I will see you all again. Will I see you next week? Let me think now. I have to go to the UK next week. I'm not sure what day I'm flying. I think I'm flying on Thursday, so I should be okay for a live on Wednesday. So I will post in here